We're going to take a look at a bump and run man beater out of the Texans playbook. This one's called Gun Double Strong Flood. Now, this particular play that we're going to take a look at is pretty nice as far as beating, as I said, beating bump and run man coverage. And the route that we want to take a look at is this route right here, which is the flanker. You notice that he's running more or less a post route with an inside release. And when I say inside release, you'll notice that he winds up going to the inside here, breaking up the field, and then he winds up going towards the post. But his initial step is an inside release. Now, I can remember a few years ago on the PlayStation 2, I did an ebook. It was the pass balance. This particular route right here, and there's some other routes too as well that were pretty effective as far as beating bump and run man coverage. This route still is pretty effective as far as beating bump and run man coverage, but what you have to do is use a little bit of motion. So let's go ahead and get right on into the play and just kind of walk you through the way I like to go ahead and run this play. The first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and smart route the flanker so he basically runs his route quicker. So now he actually, if you look at it, he actually breaks to the inside quicker, and then he breaks up to the field. And the reason you do that is because you do want him to get going up the field as quick as you can. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hot route this tight end. If he was running an out route, but what we want to do is we want to hot route him on a drag route so he's going into this area here. And the reason for that is because we don't want him to get anywhere near the receiver as far as the flanker running his post route. That's the reason we're doing that. The other two receivers on the left, I don't think in the write-up I did this, but I'm not even going to do it for the video. But if you wanted to, you could hot route those guys both on streaks so that they're running streak routes. And the reason for that is to give yourself an option to maybe throw to the tight end. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and hot route those two guys on the left on streaks. And the reason that is because that tight end running that drag route underneath, he might be another option as your third option. And I'll show you what I mean here. So basically, if I was going to make my reads, this guy would be my number one, which is going to be the flanker. My number two would be this guy, which is the halfback, who's running that flat route, and then, of course, the tight end running that drag route. Those would be my three reads against man coverage if I was running this play. So let's go ahead and continue on with it as far as what we're doing. Again, the defense is in bump and run man coverage. What I want to do is I want to take control of this guy here. I want to motion him 2 or 3 yards, then snap the ball. And then what he's going to wind up doing, again, is taking that inside release and then breaking up the field on his post route. And the cool thing about this is he won't get jammed at the line of scrimmage. So let's go ahead and do that. I also want to point out something here as far as on defense. We're running this against a 2-man under defense. And we're also running this against a blitz as well in here in a second. So we're going to motion him to the inside. Now, you got a couple different ways you can throw this one. You can throw a high bullet pass, which I did right there. And hopefully he'll come down with it. And most of the times he will, especially as long as that safety or the corner doesn't try to knock him out. The other option, let's just go ahead and go through the hot routes right here. So, again, we're setting the play up the same way. All right, there you go. There's the setup. Again, you could go ahead and try to throw a lob pass as well. So we're going to throw a lob pass as well here. You could try that too as well and see if the lob pass will work. In some cases, the lob pass might be the better throw depending on what the coverage is. But you might want to go ahead and go with the bump and run. Go ahead and go with the bullet first and then maybe try to lob. Usually I'll throw the bullet against that type of coverage. Now I want to show you something else as well. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. And we'll do the bullet this time. And go right back into it again. Same thing here. And again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw the high bullet pass this time. There's the high bullet, and we pick up 12 yards. Now let's just look at that from the top-down view and instant replay. And again, you kind of get an idea of how this play works. Okay, by smart routing him and then motion him to the inside here, about right there, he snapped that ball. What's going to wind up happening is he's going to kind of take a stutter, and then he's going to go inside, and then he's going to break up. And that's about the time we want to go ahead and throw the ball to him in that area there and make that catch. Now, of course, as I said before, you got to watch out for this defender. Probably will get underneath, and of course, you're going to wind up having this safety playing over the top. So you're going to have a little bit of a difficult throw, but you should still be able to complete this in most cases. Let's go ahead and zoom in on him, right there in that area there. See what I mean? How that guy plays underneath. So it's going to be a little bit harder to make that throw. Look at him. Fortunately, in this year's game in man coverage, these guys don't always jump up on those routes and are able to knock them down. That's why you need to throw a high bullet pass, anyways. So there's the catch, makes it. And then we get in between the corner, which is going to be the left cornerback, and the strong safety, make the catch for about a 10-yard pickup. All right, so that's how that works. And again, you can see that he doesn't get jammed at the line of scrimmage, which allows him to get wide open really quick against the blitz, even against a blitz or against just bump and run man coverage. Speaking of the blitz, let's go into the blitz here and run this. I also want to point out something else before I show this. This play right here happens to be in the same formation in the gun doubles. This one's called play action dagger. That receiver, I don't know how well you can see that, but that receiver right there, which is the flanker, he's running that same route. So basically you could run this play as well. You probably have to cancel the play action, put the halfback on some type of route. You already got the tight end running the drag, and then on the left you have the slot running the streak, and then on the outside, which is a split end, he's running the in route. But that's just another route that another play you could run from this formation if you wanted to, but it gets the same results. So let's go back into this one, back into the strong flood. Now this time we're going to run this against a cover zero defense. Again, the bump and run man, cover zero defense, zero blitz out of the dollar normal. And we're going to do the same setup as I pointed out earlier. And just go ahead and hot route those two out receivers on the left. Use the motion. Snap it in that area there. This time I'm going to throw a high bullet pass. And a lot of times you can get, if you do that one, sometimes it'll get in there and sometimes it won't. That time that corner will wind up knocking that one down. Same thing again. This time we're going to do a lob pass this time. And that might be the difference between the times you might want to throw the lob and there, or you might want to throw the high bullet pass, depending on how you want to go about it. So let's go ahead and do the same thing again. This time we're going to throw the high lob pass here. This is the high lob pass right there. And that time he winds up still getting in there. So you got to kind of mess around with that one. As I said earlier, it should be in there most of the time where you can make that catch. Let's do the same thing again. This time we'll throw the high bullet pass. And the quarterback, of course, throws a bad throw there, unfortunately. So let's try it again, same thing. Same play there, and then there we go, same motion. And then again, we're just going to throw the high bullet pass, or actually high lob pass that time. Again, it just doesn't get over there quick enough. So when you throw that play, you got to be real careful with that, because sometimes that lob pass isn't always going to get in there, as you're seeing right there. Let's do the bullet pass this time. This is the high bullet pass, and that time it gets wide open. That's only because the corner kind of got knocked on that a little bit. Let's go and do the same thing again. One more time with it, and again, I'm just trying to show you guys which way to go with this, just depending. A lot of times, probably the bullet pass is the better of the two, the safer one, but you might want to mess around with the lob pass as well. Okay, next time's wide open. That's the bullet pass again. So kind of mess around with them. You can see that it gets wide open, and again, if that's against a cover zero defense and you're able to get that ball, the quarterback throws it the way he's supposed to, and you're able to get it there, a lot of times you can wind up going in for 6 on this play real quick, real easy against a cover zero type defense. Let's go and run it one more time here. Again, smart route him and motion to the inside, and again, just going to look to throw it up top. And again, that time he makes the catch. This time he gets tackled, but we pick up about 15 yards. So this play is called the gun double strong flood. Basically, what you're looking to do is isolate the flanker on the outside on a post route. Use a little bit of motion, should get him open, and really complete the pass. So hopefully you guys get something out of this one. Kind of a lengthy breakdown, but hopefully it'll give you some ideas or way of running this. Want to wish you guys happy Thanksgiving. For those of you guys who are traveling, please be safe on the roads.